Good morning, my dear students. Today in DP, we are going to continue the same chapter, that is electoral politics. Children, in our previous classes, we have studied about what is elections, why do we need elections, what makes an election democratic, and electoral constituencies. And today we are going to start with nomination of candidates. Children, as we all know that in a democratic election, people should have a real choice. This happens only when there are almost no restrictions on anyone to contest an election. This is what our system provides. Anyone who can be the voter can also become a candidate in the elections. The only difference is that in order to be a candidate, the minimum age is 25 years, while it is only 18 years for being a voter. Children, once again, listen this very carefully. In order to be a candidate, the minimum age is 25 years, while it is only 18 years for being a voter. There are some other restrictions on criminal, etc. But these applies in very extreme cases. Political parties nominate their candidates who get the party symbol and support. Party's nomination is often called party ticket. Every person who wishes to contest an election has to fill a nomination form and give some money as a security deposit. Children, recently a new system of declaration has been introduced on the direction from the Supreme Court. Every candidate has to make a legal declaration giving full details of first, serious criminal cases pending against the candidate. Second, details of the assets and the liabilities of the candidate and his or her family. Third, education qualification of the candidate. Children, listen this once again. Every candidate has to make a legal declaration giving full details of serious criminal cases pending against the candidate, details of the assets and the liabilities of the candidate and his or her family, education qualification of the candidate. Children, this information has to be made public. This provides an opportunity to the voters to make their decisions on the basis of the information provided by the candidates. Children, educational qualification for candidates. Why is there no education qualification for holding such an important position when some kind of educational qualification is needed for any other job in the country? Children, educational qualifications are not relevant to all kinds of job. The relevant qualification for selection of the Indian cricket team, for example, is not the attainment of educational degree, but the ability to play cricket well. Similarly, the relevant qualification for being an MLA or MP is the ability to understand people's concern, problem, and to represent their interest. Whether they can do so or not is examined by lakhs of examiner. They are their voters after every 5 years. Children, even if education was relevant, it should be left to the people to decide how much importance they give to the educational qualification. In our country, putting an educational qualification would go against the spirit of democracy for yet another reason. It would mean depriving a majority of country citizens the right to contest elections. If, for example, a graduate degree like BA, BCom, or BSc was made compulsory for the candidate, more than 90% of the citizens will become ineligible to contest elections. Election campaign. Children, as you know, the main purpose of election is to give people a chance to choose the representatives, the government and the policies they prefer. Therefore, it is necessary to have a free and open discussion about who is better representative, which party will make a better government, or what is good policy. This is what happens during the election campaign. Children, in our country, such campaigns take place for a 2-week period between the announcement of the final list of candidates and the date of polling. During this period, the candidates contact their voters, political leaders address election meetings, and political parties mobilize their supporters. This is also the period when newspapers and television news are full of election related stories and debates. But election campaign is not limited to these 2 weeks only. Political parties start preparing for the elections months before they actually take place. In election campaign, political party try to focus public attention on some big issues. They want to attract the public to that issue and get them to vote for their party on that basis. Children, let us look at some of the successful slogans given by different political parties in various elections. First, Garibi Hatao. The Congress party led by Indira Gandhi gave the slogan Garibi Hatao, remove poverty, in the Lok Sabha elections of 1971. The party promised to reorient all the policies of the government to remove poverty from the country. Second, Save Democracy was the slogan given by Janata Party in the next Lok Sabha elections held in 1977. The party promised to undo the excess committed during the emergency and restore civil liberties. Then the next one, the left front used the slogan of land to the tiller in the West Bengal Assembly elections held in 1977. Fourth, protect the self-respect of the Telugus was the slogan used by N.T. Ramarao, the leader of the Telugu Desam party in Andhra Pradesh Assembly election in 1983. Children, in a democracy, it is the best to leave political parties and candidates free to conduct their election campaigns the way they want to. But it is sometimes necessary to regulate campaign to ensure that every political party and candidate gets a fair and equal chance to compete. Children, according to our election law, no party or a candidate can bribe or threaten voters, appeal to them in the name of caste or religion, use government resources for election campaigns, and spend more than rupees 25 lakh in a constituency for Lok Sabha elections or rupees 10 lakh in constituency in assembly elections. If they do so, their elections can be rejected by the court even they have been declared elected. In addition to the laws, all the political parties in our country have agreed to a model code of conduct for election campaigns. According to this, no party or candidate can use any place of worship for election propaganda, use government vehicles, aircrafts, and officials for the elections, and once elections are announced, ministers shall not lay foundation stone of any project, take any big policy decision, or make any promises of providing public facilities. Now, polling and counting of votes. Children, the final stage of an election is the day when the voters cast or poll their votes. That day is usually called the election day. Every person whose name is on the voter list can go to a nearby polling booth situated usually in a local school or a government office. Once the voter goes inside the booth, the election officials identify her, put a mark on her finger, and allow her to cast her vote. An agent of each candidate is allowed to sit inside the polling booth and ensures that the voting takes place in a fair way. Nowadays, electronic voting machine (EVM) are used to record votes. The machine shows the names of the candidates and the party symbols. Independent candidates too have their own symbols allotted by the election officials. Voters has to press the button against the name of the candidate she wants to give her vote. Once the polling is over, all the EVMs are sealed and taken to the secure place. A few days later, on a fixed date, all the EVMs from a constituencies are opened and the votes secured by each candidate are counted. The agents of all the candidates are present there to ensure that the counting is done properly. The candidate who secures the highest number of votes from the constituency is declared elected. In a general election, usually the counting of votes in all the constituencies takes place at the same time on the same day. Television channels, radio, and newspaper reports this event. Within a few hours of counting, all the results are declared and it becomes clear as to who will form the next government. That's all for today, children. Thank you and have a nice day.